All right, first and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise unto my power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom, know you sincere are the true believers, right? Today's lesson, or video, I have this video queued up right here, going in on a hot topic again, man. These tariffs, trade wars, World War III brewing up, right? And another prophecy, which is what? Famine coming to the land, right? Which is all throughout Second Ezra, all throughout the scriptures, speaking about what famine is coming to what? America, man. Right? America is going to be hit with famine, right? And this is just the beginning. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this.
CEOs from Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's sent a very blunt message to the president during a meeting in the Oval Office.
This is a warning. If you're gonna need anything made in China, I would buy it now, while you still can. Many companies have already decided it no longer makes any economic sense to import Chinese-made products into the United States because tariff rates are so high. As a result, there are certain things that will soon be no longer available to U.S. consumers. Now, when I posted video warnings about empty shelves in the months ahead, some people thought that I was exaggerating. But of course, the truth is that I was not exaggerating at all. On Tuesday, the CEOs of Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's specifically warned President Trump that store shelves all over the country could soon be empty during a meeting at the White House.
So what's the message that got through to the president?
Well, it's very interesting. We've all noticed the president's change in tone over the last day or so. I'm told it's the result of a meeting in the Oval Office on Wednesday with those CEOs who are talking specifically about the warning for the supply chain disruption. And they said that
massive.
I'm told it's the result of a meeting in the Oval Office on Wednesday with those CEOs who are talking specifically about the warning for the supply chain disruption. And they said that the store shelves in some of the America's biggest stores could be empty in the coming weeks.
Those CEOs are not bluffing. Our biggest retailers normally import massive amounts of goods from China, and there's no easy short-term way to replace that production. According to Axios, the CEOs flat out told him the prices aren't going up. They're steady right now, but they will go up. They also told President Trump that...
So, all right. So y'all heard it, right? So these types of things, man, when we hear these things, man, it's beautiful. Right, these what they call warnings is things that we already knew, right? Because ultimately, right, let's get this real quick, right? In the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter in the NLT, right? Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. It says, matter of fact, let's get verse 6. It says, when the ram's horn blows a warning, shouldn't the people be alarmed? Doesn't disaster come to a city? Does disaster come to a city unless the Heavenly Father has planned it? Absolutely. So the Heavenly Father is the one that planned this disaster upon America, man. Why? Because Luke 12:32 shows you that what? It's our Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom, right? Verse 7, it says, indeed, the sovereign Lord never does anything until he reveals his plans to his servants, the prophets. So we know what's going on, man. Hey, it's a warning to them, but we already got the warning from our power. Heavenly Father already done made us alert and made us aware, right? But ultimately, it's everybody else that's what? In darkness, man, right? 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And verse 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 4, it says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. So, like, listen, you Akim, you Akwaf, right? You brothers, you sisters that are listening and learning and taking heed into the messages, the prophecies Hey, man, hey, yeah, that day not gonna take you as a thief as long as you doing what you supposed to do, right? Right? It says, "Ye are the children of the light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore, let us not be asleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober." Because what's coming upon the earth, man? Right? What's about to come upon the earth? The Heavenly Father is about to use the supply chain issue, like the supply chain issues, all of that, right? To fulfill Second Ezra 6:22, right? Because this has to happen. Second Ezra 6:22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. What are the sown places? The ShopRites, the Walmarts, the all of these different good stores where you go to buy these particular goods that we all need, right? It says, and suddenly, so what does it mean? Just like a thief in the night, suddenly, right? And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. How? We already got the scoop, right? So Second Ezra chapter 16, and this is more prophecy, right? Showing you that what? How are most people going to die, right? How are most people going to get judged and going to receive the judgment for and penalties for not serving the Heavenly Father? Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, right? The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come, right? This is the prophet Ezra. He was asking the question, right? But Ezra is going to be fine. He's going to be Tawab. Verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, right? So the Heavenly Father sends all of these particular things, right? These judgments of famine, plagues, tribulation, all of these things, right? Because these are very gruesome things, man, famine. The book of Lamentations, the 4th chapter, tells you that famine is a bad way to die, man. So the Heavenly Father sends these particular things to amend people. What is an amendment? It's a correction, right? So it's like, right? So it says, but verse 20, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Skipping down, right? Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. That's prophetic right there. That is prophetic. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, right? So that's the point, man. The majority of these people gotta go. And how they gonna go? They gonna go by famine, man, right? They gonna go by famine. And since we talked about it, right, let's get it. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 9. It says, and they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for wants of the fruits of the field. So it's better for you to what? To die by the sword than to die by hunger. The reason why that is because when you're hungry, man, it's a bad way to go out. It's a very slow and painful death. It's like getting buried alive, man. You see what I'm saying? That's a very painful death, man. Your body's just like eating away at itself. You just being tortured, just left with your mind. It's bad, man. Yeah, but hey, listen. That's what these people deserve. And that's why ultimately you don't play with the Heavenly Father. You do not play with the Heavenly Father. But hey, even though the story, because look, I already know this question always arises, man. It always comes up from time to time. All right, well, you live here too, so what's going to happen? What's going to happen for you? All right, 2 Ezra 2 and 27, right? It says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh. Won't that be a day of trouble when all the full storehouses are suddenly found empty? That's a day of trouble, right? Isn't it a day of heaviness where people are sad, right? They don't have enough food to eat. It says, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. So who's gonna be merry and have abundance? The sincere-hearted believers, man. The servants. Right? Let's start at verse 26 just to give context. As for the servants who I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Who? The servants of the Heavenly Father. Verse 28, the heathens, right, which are not the servants of the Heavenly Father, shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Heavenly Father. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. And that's the point, man. So we're going to be straight. The servants of the Heavenly Father is going to what? Eat, right? You already know. Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 13. It says, matter of fact, let's start at verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. How did the Heavenly Father call? He sent his prophets out there in the highways and hedges. But our people, what? Completely just disregarded the calling from the Heavenly Father, which is he's using the prophets. Us out there on the highway, brothers out there on the highways and hedges, man. They ignore us. It says, when I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did not choose that wherein I delighted not. But did choose that wherein I delighted not. So meaning, you ain't listen to the Heavenly Father, but you chose to do the things that the Heavenly Father don't like. Verse 13, this your penalty. Therefore, thus saith the Heavenly Father Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And that's what the mass majority of these people got coming to them, man. Pain, suffering, death, anguish, loss of children, famine. You know what I'm saying? Trading on one another's brotherhood and friendship. Man, it's about to get real gruesome and real critical out here, man. Right? Hey, well, for us sincere-hearted believers, hey, we ought to be thankful at the fact that we believe, man. Heavenly Father done gave us the golden ticket, man. As long as we continue to endure, because if we don't, then that golden ticket, man, you turn into something else, right? So yeah, just wanted to share this through the spirit. Wanted to go through some scriptures, break it down for y'all, show y'all what it is. We almost up out of here, Akim, Akwaf. You know, we just got to continue to keep holding on, continue to keep fighting, you know, and keep being used by the Heavenly Father while Yahweh Shai. And so with that, I don't rather desire you sincere-hearted true believers were edified, were exhorted, and were comforted. And I want to give all glory, honor, and praise unto my power. Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. I'm to ask you, I'm sorry, I'm about to have a prayer. But yeah, so that's the point, man. Hey, shalom to all you sincere-hearted true believers. Hey, we almost up out of here. Hey, death to America, man. Hey, shalom, keep pushing. Hey, shalom.